Linda McAvan, Labour MEP for Yorkshire and the Humber. The European Court of Justice has looked at this case and ruled that it believes there's no exceptions, that the UK should meet its pollution obligations as set down in European law. What's your reaction?
Well, we were supposed to hit these targets for cutting pollution by 2010. We were then given some leeway to 2015 to put them under control, but what the court has found is that we don't have plans in action. The government's admitted that it'll be 2020 at the earliest before we actually get pollution levels down, and in that time more people get unhealthy, more people die because of air pollution problems.
What do you think of that then, the fact that it is going to run and run, that it could be 2020 or even later before pollution levels are down, given, as you say, that it, according to the government's own figures, causes thousands of people to die prematurely?
Well, one of the biggest public meetings I've done on an EU legal issue has been about air quality in Sheffield. People are concerned because if you live in an area where there's lots of buses, lots of cars and traffic, it does impact on your health. That's why we brought in all the Clean Air Acts in the 1960s. That's why we got rid of smog. But we don't want to go back in time. We don't want to see people getting ill health again because of air pollution. So it is a priority for local people.
What is the point of the UK signing up to laws like this if ultimately they're not actually going to meet them, and it kind of goes on and on and on without anything actually being properly done about it?
Well, often we often think the EU imposes laws on Britain, but actually our Department of the Environment was intimately involved in negotiating these laws. Our own governments accepted these targets and said they were achievable. But I think what we've had is reluctance recently not to make progress, not to see it as a priority, to see it as sort of red tape. I don't think this is red tape. I think that these laws are there to protect people. And if we look back in history, look back at Clean Air Acts, look back at laws to protect the environment, we have benefited. And I think most people accept that. So there are some difficult issues for governments, but what we need now is a plan from the UK government. That's what the European Commission wants. They want a plan from the UK governments to show they are tackling the issue and taking it seriously. This is not the EU that's asked for action today. It's the UK Supreme Court that actually asked the European Court of Justice to look at this, because the UK courts think the government should be doing more, and they're going to look at it again next year.
This leaves the government with a bit of a headache if they're expected to meet these targets, at least in the court's judgment. Sorry. What am I trying to say?
You don't know, just start again. Think about it.
Here we go then. This leaves the government with a bit of a headache. They're expected to meet these targets as soon as they can. What concrete steps would you like to see the government take to help in places like Sheffield, Hull and the Yorkshire and Humber region as a whole?
Well, it needs to help the local authority develop good traffic management plans. Other countries have faced similar problems, but they've resolved them. So one thing the UK government could do is talk to other countries who also have dense traffic problems about what they did to overcome them. Sometimes it's about planting trees downside of roads, sometimes it's about looking at the way traffic flows through cities, and also we have to tackle things like diesel buses. A lot of local authorities are bringing in, for example, cleaner vehicles in the cities, but that requires investment as well, and the government has to come in there. But above all, the government's got to take it seriously. Sometimes I get an impression they see this as red tape, but this is a British court that's asked for action and asked the European Court of Justice for help in interpreting EU law. It's UK organisations who look after citizens' concerns about air quality who've asked for this action to happen. It hasn't come from Brussels. So the UK government needs to sit up and take notice and put a serious plan in action to get the air quality under control.
Given the fact that budgets are tight in local authorities in your local area, would you like to see the government commit serious money to tackling this problem at a local level in Yorkshire and the Humber?
Yes, the government's got to make the investments it needs to. I mean, the government signed up to these laws. The government said it could actually implement these laws. So we need to see support for local government. But it's also about support in terms of traffic management and about how you plan the way cities are laid out. There's lots of different issues that need to be resolved.